interviews with business owners and veteran executives who share their wisdom and expertise to help you de-stress, free up time, and make more money. Profits of IT. Welcome back to the Profits of IT. I am Jim Punzenberger, your host, and the creator of the Managed Prospecting System. Looking to generate new clients or partners, be sure to check out managedprospectingsystem.com. Very excited to have a veteran with me, and today's prophet is a member of the Forbes Technology Council, and he's been lived all around the U.S., gone to school on both coasts, and been in the industry for a long time. Ken, please say hi to the audience and give us a quick 10 seconds on Teos.
Okay, no trouble. Yeah, hey, Jim, thanks for inviting me on the line. Yeah, I've been in technology for 34 years. Long-time watcher, first-time caller, what they used to say on radio shows, which would be great. And then, yeah, Taos is named after Taos, New Mexico. It was acquired by IBM. Basically, think about it as a really modern professional services and managed services group that went to about $100 million. It was named after Taos, New Mexico. We did most of our business in Silicon Valley. Our founder was an Apple employee and took a lot of the really smart people with him and basically built up the Silicon Valley expertise as the whole world went to cloud. And we've now gone national. And with IBM's help, we're giant as far as size, almost about $500 million now.
Wow, that's sounds like a lot of growth quickly.
Yes, we accomplished what we set out to do.
Cool. So what's something interesting about yourself outside of work?
Well, I'm the proud father of three. My oldest daughter, Erin, graduated Cornell. She got a scholarship to Case Western, so she's in Cleveland, Ohio. I have twin daughters, mirror twins. I didn't know this until we had them, but there's fraternal identical. And then within identical, there's mirror twins. One's left dominated, one's right dominant, both brain and appendages. And she's at UCLA, just finished up UCLA, lives down in Los Angeles, and she does work at Cedars-Sinai, which is great around stem cells. And my daughter Olivia lives here. She works for Fortinet. She graduated from Boston College. I also undergrad from Boston College, and based on a challenge from a guy named Mark Leslie, the former founder of Veritas, he challenged me that I would never get into Stanford's Graduate School of Business, and I did it, mostly because I wanted to go, but also because of the challenge. But what's fun about me, I like stand-up paddleboarding when I can. I jog to keep the weight down. I think we all go through that. And I do like to golf. Given the rounds of golf I've done in my life over the last 30 years, I should be a single-digit handicap. I am not, but I'm competitive and I like it, and it's a lot of fun. But thanks for asking.
Cool. So I guess moving back to professionally now, what would you say are the keys to your success? I know you've had some great success over, it sounds like, 34 years. What would you say are keys to your success, and or what one might call your superpower when it comes to business, and how can others learn from that to be more successful themselves? I know it's a big, long question.
It's a long question. I'll answer at least two parts of it. If you get the chance, Google search a speech by Steve Harvey. Yes, that same Steve Harvey who got the Miss, I think it was a Miss America or Miss World question wrong, but he also does the Family Feud. After the show one time, he talked about the ability to jump. You have to be able to jump at some point. So when I heard about this opportunity at Taos, I jumped right for it. Before that, when I was at EMC for 25 years, I heard about this opportunity called Verident, which is Latin for green. It was based in California, forced me to move, but I knew Flash was going to change things. I mean, Flash was in consumer devices way before, and we all laugh at it. But go back to 2012, 2013, Flash in the data center, it didn't exist. So we're an early mover there, and it really worked well. And then I was 25 years at EMC, again, working backwards. I knew people were going to digitize. I mean, putting data in filing cabinets on paper sounds crazy, but at the time, that's how things worked. And well, some insurance companies still do it that way. But my point being is you have to be able to jump in your career. You have to. The challenge that was given from Mark Leslie to go get, I never got my MBA until that time. So I went and did it. And I think it was 30 years older than everyone else in the whole class, which was great. So, the ability to jump is great. My superpower, well, technology is very confusing. Even if you're in technology, there's way too many acronyms. So the ability to simplify what it does. So I always heard the phrase of people who know how work for people who know why. So the ability to either, and some people go, I whiteboard it. Well, I do animated whiteboards. I have pretty good artistic skills, and I do use some offshore resources to sync my voice to the whiteboards. But when I join a company, or we have a new initiative or a new project, or even pain points for customers, I'll go do a whiteboard for them, and I'll simplify everything to about 60 seconds is about what I get it down to as far as whiteboards. And then on Fridays, I do something called Lunchtime Friday, something similar to yours. And in about 60 seconds or less, I post something. Like today, I did Chat GPT, because 30 years ago, people were putting diskettes into compact computers. That's what people bought back then. Now it's part of Hewlett Packard. And you started surfing the net for the very first time 30 years ago, roughly, maybe a little bit more. And then you started trading currency. Schwab, I used eSchwab, for example. Well, today, like, we used to hire content marketing people. You don't need, I don't want to put them out of business, but you need to do that. You just type in, we sell platform engineering here as Taos, as far as part of IBM, it's a competitive difference maker. But you just type in, what is platform engineering? Boom, 600 words, as good as if you wrote it yourself, if not better. And that becomes your content management. So if you're an entrepreneur or a small person, you can, work in organic and SEO, etc., and you actually do that. So I actually put that out there. So every Friday, I do a Lunchtime Friday. I do it every time, which is at 8:45 Pacific, or that's 11:45 East Coast time. Right about the time out there. And I named it after that because it's the one time per week you get everything ahead of you. You're excited. You finish up the work week. You're excited about whatever plans you have. You might go to a comedy show. I'm going to the Niners game tomorrow, for example. But my point is, the best time of the week, you tend to smile the most because you don't know what's going to happen. So it's kind of neat. So I covered a lot there, but that's my superpower, taking something incredibly technical and simplify it based on use case so people can identify, oh, I get what that is.
Got it. Quick comment on the Niners game. I'm kind of jealous because if you notice, there's a cheese head behind my left shoulder there. So unfortunately, I'm not going to the Niners game. So enjoy is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I checked the weather, Jim. It's a driving rainstorm. So me and my friend Fleming, we've split tickets in half for the last 6-7 years. PSL's the whole thing. We have great seats. We love the location we're at. We're right above the visitors tunnel as they come out. But yeah, we'll be there at the game. I think it's driving rain. I'll have my rain gear on. I'll do a little bit of tailgating before, have a little bit of fun, and hopefully the Niners pull it out. It's against the Seahawks. It's very tough to beat the same team 3 times in 1 year, as you know. But right. I look forward to it, and it's a little bit weird going to a football game, a pro football game on a Saturday, but I look forward to it. I'm about a 20-minute ride away.
Well, I'll be cheering on the Niners. Any other thoughts in regards to your superpower or what others can learn from your success, be more successful themselves?
I think Samuel Clemens, or Mark Twain, who's known, said it's harder to write a short book than a long book. It really is. So it's to get to the point is really helpful, and to simplify some really complex topics. And if you think about it, I've been blessed to mostly grow up in sales. I was the first inside sales rep in EMC, and I moved up all the way through management and became general manager, etc. But what was really telling to me is when I acquired some IP when I was working at Barracuda. It was a company a product then called ScudaSign. I spun it out and made it called Sign Now, SIGNNOW, and it's electronic signature. It's still the number 3 e-signature in the world today, and it's grown as part of our AirSlate. And it's really kind of helpful to me because it just kind of gets to the gist of what you really need. It solves your problem, and I'm not trying to tout how great the product is, but the ability to jump and realize that people didn't want to have initiatives started off computers and move it across. It's a good way to make things happen and create different environments for people.
Got it. So any final thoughts here?
Yeah, you were asking about 2023 predictions. I posted today about Chat GPT. I think it's a good difference maker. Gartner, stealing from them a little bit, Gartner says the #1 trend for 2023 is platform engineering. You might say, what exactly is platform engineering? Well, if you look at it, the whole Salesforce ecosystem, Salesforce, the company that does the CRM, and the whole Apple iStore took off because they made it easy for other people to make platforms or other solutions on top of their platform. So they opened the API. So I think Chat API and platform engineering are both going to take off for the same reason. If you allow people to be interfaces between each other, you can take off and elaborate a little bit more. I talked about Sign Now before. The reason why it took off is you don't want to buy e-signature for itself, but if you go to European Wax Center, you want to be able to sign on an iPad if you get a wax service. Or if you buy from Best Buy and someone's delivering a router into your place through Geek Squad, you go, wait a minute, I wouldn't mind buying a couple TVs while you're here. Not like stop everything and go to the store, wait in line and do it. Do it like on your iPad right then and come out of the truck. You're able to do it because it's embedded in. There's a lot of other companies we had as part of it. But what platform engineering, the reason why it's a big trend is everyone's like, oh, Amazon has an advantage because they're a hyperscaler. Oh, Google has an advantage, they're a hyperscaler. No, every company has an advantage. All the APIs are open and exposed now. You can be a competitive advantage as part of it. And I think the biggest trend is incorporating platform engineering in your own organization would help. If you need someone to show you the way, you need a guide or a Sherpa that helps you the way through. Us at Taos or platform engineering with an IBM can help you. Kind of like you would stay at a hotel at someone's wedding. You're not buying a house. Someone invites you to a wedding in St. Louis. You and I have a mutual friend. We go to St.
Yep.
Louis. We're not going to buy any real estate in St. Louis. It would be a great
Right.
deal. It's a great town. What we're going to do is we're going to buy, let's say, a Marriott hotel. We're going to a Marriott hotel for the weekend. We're just providing you some short-term transition or a Sherpa or some place to help you out so you can get on and develop platform engineering as an expertise in your company. It's a difference maker. So all the benefits you get from Apple iStore, all the benefits you get from Salesforce ecosystem, you get in your own environment so that everyone works together. It's no different than, geez, it wasn't that long ago. We're all wearing masks all the time and we're going through COVID. How did little Moderna in Cambridge, Massachusetts and Pfizer, which is not the biggest pharmaceutical companies, how did they get it done before the other ones did? And there's others, not to call them out, but you can name their names. They're usually in northern New Jersey. The companies that embraced distributed living and, for lack of a better word, doing scientific work, kind of like you do a Google Doc versus Microsoft Word. Because if you have a bunch of scientists and you line them up and you all do linear work and you go do this, you do this, you do this, and you all wait for each other, the implied latency stopped things from happening. So the biggest race in mankind was how quick we were going to get a vaccine out. And how did Moderna and Cambridge and Pfizer, which is not the biggest pharmaceutical, how they get it done? They embraced a remote work environment and collaboration, no different than using a Google Doc versus, Microsoft Word. So I'm bullish on platform engineering. I'm bullish on anything that has exposed open APIs. I'm bullish on ChatGPT. And I think inflation is going to be controlled eventually. Not right away, but it can't get any worse. I mean, here in California, we've had so much flooding and we had a chicken flu, et cetera. The cost for a dozen eggs has quadrupled. That's insanity. So I do think inflation will be controlled, not to talk about politics, but it just has to be. And, we live through the Great Resignation, and I think people are starting to enjoy what they're trying to do. And if you're lucky enough to be working right now, enjoy what you have. It's a tough market out there right now.
It is, but we'll get through it.
Good.
So if
Jim,
somebody
thanks for
wanted to
having me,
reach out to you, Ken, what would be a great way to contact you if somebody wanted to reach out?
Well, I'm active on LinkedIn. I have a lot of followers. I've had the good fortune of working for some incredible mentors and hiring a lot of people and giving them some breaks or some jumps, as Steve Harvey talked about an example before. But it's ken.grohe, Grohe, like the German faucet maker. No relation, but it's a very good faucets. At IBM.com is probably the best. Or just through LinkedIn. I have a lot of followers and I post every Friday, #Lunchtime Friday. But Jim, longtime watcher, first time call in, and love being able to be fortunate enough to be on your podcast. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Well, thank you for sharing your knowledge and making it fun. Until next time on the Profits of IT, I am Jim Punzenberger, your host and the creator of the Managed Prospecting System. Be sure to check out managedprospectingsystem.com.
Thank you for tuning in to the Profits of IT. Please smash that like button, subscribe, and share.